Welcome to the channel. My name is Rob. The little one is out today, so it means we've got time to make a little video on our virtual pinball machine. So I'm going to show you all the updates and upgrades I've made to it and hopefully inspire you to build your own one. So here it is after the weekend. You can see it's got proper pinball legs on now. Nice chrome ones that match the T-molding. Before I had these ones, wobbly black ones that mounted underneath, just useless. They were temporary anyway. But now we have the proper ones built on and it's so much more stable. Just it looks so much better and feels better. So this is the virtual pinball machine, alright? So we've got the Stream Deck built in. I'll run through that. But basically, this is a computer that runs pinball games. I want to get a little Intel Nook instead. Nice little small compact computer that will run this. But let's run through how we got to this point first. Essentially, we bought new monitors. We didn't need this one anymore, which is a nice shape for a pinball machine. Looking at the arcade 1-up machines, which we wanted, we're like, nah, they're a bit expensive. I already have Star Wars tables on the Switch, and we already have it on Steam, so I don't want to double up and buy a table. So basically, we bought an encoder that has a USB port, all these cables, comes with a whole bunch of buttons. It's only like 50 Australian dollars on Amazon. It was a bargain. Micro switches. We were able to put together a little wine box version of a controller to test this out with our old PC that we had rotting away in our spare room. So after setting up the monitor with the TV and trying out this little box, it was working. They were just getting the software all matching up and downloading tables and getting Steam to not try and connect online because the computer that we're using doesn't have Wi-Fi, so we had to drag a cable across to plug it in. Now, having no handyman skills or any power tools, basically, I bought a handsaw, 2 bits of plywood, and then just started cutting it into shape. Drew a little diagram in a little book and followed that, and then just started putting it together. Got some glue, got some nails, and then just started testing it. Put screens in the box, put the buttons in the box. Then we were ready to go. It was all working. We primed it, ready to paint. We had some chalkboard paint because we painted a little chalkboard strip in our garage, in our pantry. So we painted it black, mounted in the TV, put some legs on, and then that's it. That was ready to go. And we had a pretty dodgy little virtual pinball machine. After a bit of time, I added the T-molding on, which is very difficult to do when everything's already built. So it was rough. We got some plexiglass, and that's on, so that's nice. Keeps it all kind of legit and stops people from spilling things, which they shouldn't be doing anyway, or touching the monitor. Still need to put back doors on the bottom as well, and then that would kind of block off the light, have all the cabling running nice. But so far, it's good, everything works. Like, we got these new speakers, so this is the amp that runs these bassy exciter speakers that will give rumble on the sides, so you can actually feel the flipper vibrations, the ball rolling around, the bumpers. It's really cool. So that is a new upgrade. It's all coming along. So still quite a bit to do, but you can see here, this is the Stream Deck. It's sunken in. It's got nice little edges around the frame, so it kind of sits in there nice. I just repeatedly drilled holes to make that. Like I said, I don't have tools for these things that make these jobs easier. What we're working at the moment is this tilt bob. So this guy here is I'm going to use this for nudging. So you can put a gyro inside, but this is a nice little cheap nudge system. Essentially, there'll be one either side, and they'll be taped off so they can only trigger depending on what way you nudge the table. And then that'll set off the table nudging on the actual game, as you can see. But we'll run you through the Stream Deck. So the Stream Deck that we have does a whole bunch of things. We can turn the volume up and down or mute it or whatever we need to do, rather than having different buttons around the cab or having a keyboard that we plug in to try and do everything, because it is a Windows computer. We can do it all here on the Stream Deck. So we've got joysticks so we can move around, Xbox buttons, camera, shift the camera. So if you're playing one of the Zen Studios tables or Zacharias thing, you can shift the camera to suit you. So I like it on view 2. That gives you a nice top-down view that suits our table. Menu controls the menu for our front loader, so you can shut down the computer and stuff from here. Or if you don't want to use that at all, you can just jump into a game. So we got Pin-Up Popper, which is our front loader, FX3, FX2, and Zakaria. And you can just jump straight into those games. Steam is offline, so they're Steam games, they're bought games. You tell Steam, don't connect online, all good, don't log me in. The only problem is FX3 can take a little bit of connect because it's trying to get your high scores and table scores. But once it's in, you can just navigate through here as if you're playing with a keyboard, using the Stream Deck up and down. Flippers also control things left and right and stuff, so even if you didn't have a Stream Deck, you could loosely do it, but the Stream Deck just makes it so much nicer. Infinite buttons, anything your keyboard is required for in like fixing things or just basic navigation, Stream Deck can do it. So I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. Once you've had enough of the table you're playing, you can exit, which will take you to the front loader of Pinup Popper, and then you can navigate through all the tables that you've installed. So hundreds of them, all of them. So we've got Virtual Pinball or Visual Pinball X, FX3, FX2 as we've seen Zakaria, and you can probably put Pinball Arcade on here, the new FX game, once they get cabinet mode supported, and you can pick any table you want. So it's just sky's the limit basically. Go to town and play your favorites. So that's where we're at so far. Still a bit of work to do on it to finish it off. Like I said, I'd love to get a Nook and install that and just kind of like either attach it to the back once the back doors are on, or just have it sitting inside with some fans and ventilation and just running it off that. I just enjoy that way better than trying to mount this monster. I don't know how old, almost like it must be getting close to 15 years old, which is a concern for future-proofing the computer. Plus it doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I have to plug a cable in if I want to do high scores and stuff, which kind of sucks at the moment. But beyond that, this thing is addictive. It is incredibly fun, and I'm so glad this is a project that I started.